Guys, all the cars that you see in these videos are for sale on my website, www.woodsandbarclay.com. Enjoy the video. Sometimes the fuel sending units will get stuck, and this car actually didn't have it stuck. The fuel gauge works fine, but I'm going to go ahead and remove the sending unit, or the level sending unit, whatever you want to call it, and open it up and clean it out really well. And you can see I've just slid the bottom seat forward, and what I did, I put the seat belts around the seat so then you can lean the seat forward and the seat belts actually hold it from falling over, and that allows you to gain access to the fuel sending unit, which is right down in there. You see it right there. And what happens is all the grimy crap from the diesel just builds up in there over the years, and it can make the little plunger or the bobber get stuck. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out, and what you need is a special, that's like a socket that's been sawed in half where it's flat on the base, and that'll grip the sending unit, and you just take it out with a wrench. I mean a socket. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out, and I'll show it to you on the bench. You can see I have the sending unit out. You have to have a container like this, and when you pull it out, you have to be really quick and put it in the container, because you see it has a drain hole right here for any of the diesel. There, you can see that. Any of the diesel that's left in the sending unit. So this is a sending unit, and inside here, if you listen, I'm not sure if you can hear that, but there is a plunger or a bobber that's moving back and forth in there, and that shows the level, or that sends the level based on the resistance of that bobber, and the bobber is moving on a I think it's a copper wire, and based on where the bobber is, it sends a different resistance. So let's go ahead and open this up. You can see right here on the bottom is a little, it's just a little plastic, let's see, it's hard to see that. It's a little plastic plug with, or screw with 2 notches in it. And the way you get that out, you drill a little notch in a screwdriver. And let's see if we can shine some light on this. You see how that fits right there in the notches? And now when I put my hand on it and hold it still, I can unscrew that and disassemble it. So let me show you what it looks like once it's disassembled. So once you have the little nut off that uses that slotted screwdriver, you have to be very careful, but you can slide this, the shell slides off. And you can see, here's the bobber, and you can barely make them out on this video, but you see that thin wire? There's one there, there's one there, and there's one back there on the back side. There's 3 of them. And this bobber, let me show you, slides up and down. There we go. There we go. See how it slides up and down? And this is why I'm cleaning it right here. It looks like it's stuck there. So if you push it a little bit. Oh, there we go. So when you get diesel that fills up the canister, the float slides up and down. And depending where the float is, it sends a different resistance to the gauge, and you know what your fuel level is. So the reason we take these apart, let me move this float down. See all that gunk? Just slime and gunk and grossness. And you see the, here, let me see if I can set it down so you can see it better. There you go. See all the slight corrosion along the shaft? And then the slime all down here. Well, that makes the bobber hard to move. So just get some brake cleaner. We'll clean that off, and then we'll very lightly polish that, polish the shaft. Yes, I just said that. We'll polish the shaft and get this operating very smoothly again, so there will never be a sticking gauge. And as I said, this car was working fine. These are very resilient, but might as well go ahead and clean it up, and then you'll have another 30 years of no problems. All right, so I delicately cleaned it in the parts washer, and I also cleaned out the inside. See if I can get a light in there. Yeah, see how clean it is in there? Cleaned out the inside tube in the parts washer. And let's shine it on here. And you can see, well, you know what? It's hard to tell in the camera, but I took some, it's like Scotch-Brite, and you can go down and remove any corrosion. There you go. You can see it's kind of shiny on there now, that shaft in the middle. There's no more gunk down here on the bottom. Now it moves really easy. See, I barely turn it. There we go. See how smooth it moves back and forth on there? And that's how you restore a sending unit. So the next part is you just have to stick it back in the tube, and let me set it down. It's really sketchy doing this because these are like hairline little metal wires here, and if you just bump them or hit them the wrong way, you can break the solder point loose. Now on the tube you'll see there's a notch there. See that notch? And the notch lines up with, let's see if I can get this on the camera. There we go. Ah, shoot. Oh, I want to show you that too. See, I cleaned off, that's a copper contact on the underside. And that makes contact with there's two copper, there we go. See the copper points down there? So that, I think that engages your fuel empty light when the copper contact. So I cleaned that off. And that little notch, trying to do this without bumping the wire. Let me see if I can find it here. There we go. You can see by my thumb there. See if I can get it to focus. There's a little, yeah, straight across there. It's hard to see. There's a little notch, and that notch lines up with that notch. So that allows you to get it back in there. Anyway, I'm going to put this thing back together and put it back in the car, and this should last another 30 years. All right, I have it back together. Got the little notch nut down there on the bottom. Now listen how smooth it is now. Very smooth. That operates very nice. So that's now restored and going back in the car. Got the rear seat back together and the sending unit put back in. And let's see how fast this gauge jumps up now. Boom. Look at that.